Electric vehicles were like the big talk of the town. Everything needs to be electric. We have to drive electric vehicles. Everything has to be super electric. Turns out that's not actually the case. And we knew this. We've mentioned many times that anytime President Biden would have all of the electric vehicle makers, he would not include Tesla. And I wonder why that was. Oh, it's because they're not a union shop. And so if you really actually cared about electric vehicles and you really thought that that would save the climate, wouldn't you invite the one electric vehicle manufacturer that has made a dent in the market? But that's point for a different time. Jacqueline, the subsidy is going away. That's why we're talking about it right now. There is a $7,500 federal subsidy. In other words, taxpayer money paying for your car. If you're a lib driving an electric vehicle, that's going away next September. So the New York Times had a calculator. Turns out electric vehicles are way more expensive when you don't have that subsidy. All of this is to say, do you think the American people will end up wanting EVs? Or is this just further proof that these were forced upon us? Nobody actually wants them. And once the subsidy goes away, nobody's going to buy them.
I don't think anyone wants them. More so the fact that nobody wants to be told what kind of car they have to drive.
Yeah.
Especially here in rural Georgia. Like, no, you can't have an electric vehicle in rural Georgia because most gas stations don't have a way for you to charge your car. Like, you will get stuck in the
Mhm.
middle of the road, hours away from cell service, whatever else. That will happen. But I used this little calculator on the article,
Yeah.
and unless I keep my car for longer than 15 years, my electric vehicle will always be more expensive than having a normal car. And that's absolutely wild to me because I think we were sold on this whole idea of protect the environment. It's actually cheaper. Not the case whatsoever.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I love that you actually used that. That also assumes that the electric car and the electric car battery is going to last 15 years. How many Teslas from 2010 do you know out there that don't have a full charge anymore because the battery had to get replaced? And that's another $10,000 on top of that. Clayton, kind of same question. Do you think Americans, when it's not being forced upon us by tax incentives and government saying you're a bad person if you're not driving an EV? When all of that's gone, hopefully with the Trump administration coming in, do you think people will still buy electric cars? Or do you think there's going to be like a realization of, oh yeah, this was all just performative woke politics when this whole craze started and happened?
Yeah, I think it was all performative. I mean, and look at it. Everybody loves Elon, right? They were praising him for Tesla, and then all of a sudden they didn't like his political views. Then all of a sudden they were going against Tesla. And they're actually not better for the environment either. Just to get the electricity in a usable form, they're using all these fossil fuels to do that. So they're worse for the environment. They're more expensive. So I don't see it lasting in the long run. And it's just a disaster overall. And I think people are starting to finally see that.
Yeah, again, I'm not necessarily even opposed to people buying electric vehicles. I'm just saying, hey, look at what the American people are telling you by their consumer behavior, and it turns out they don't want them, especially if that taxpayer money that is coming from us to them is going away.